My Journey to America by Cameron Rich.
Hello, my name is Milton Jackson, and I have a story. Just like any other person who emigrated to America in 1898. Life was always good with family living in Lithuania, and I always longed for something better. Education is very important to my family. My parents want me to graduate with a degree in teaching, and my children now, so that will be the area I have to. And I go to college. It's a dream of mine. I came from an Orthodox Jewish family.
My grandfather, Zaya Shekman, was employed by the Tsar of Russia. His job was to buy lumber that was needed. He wore a ring that had an emblem of a bear. This was his ID that he would show so he wouldn't go to jail like the other Jews of our time. Jews were harassed for no reason other than being Jewish. When grandfather would leave for business, the soldiers would round up the family and put them in jail. Grandfather would need to show his ring when he would return and try to get as many family members out of jail. My grandfather fell in love with my grandmother, Fredia, many years ago, and it was love at first sight. I wonder if one day that will happen to me. Will I find a special girl and marry? Life here isn't that easy. At 17 years old, my grandfather took me on one of his business trips to help me become free from getting locked up and set me up to live with my Uncle Herzl, who was living in Philadelphia. He is a man who works with Golda Meir and 8 others starting the Zionist movement in America. His life sounds interesting to me. Coming to America has been a journey. First, my grandfather found a man who would take me and my cousin Joe to the boat from our small town. The longest part was by boat with Joe, and it was scary. Leaving my brother and parents is very hard. I have many fears, doubts, and superstitions. I ask myself, will this be better? Will my life turn around? This boat is very crowded and many sickly-looking people are coughing nearby. Others are feeling seasick and some people smell like they haven't showered in weeks. We woke up and saw the Statue of Liberty smiling down upon us. This looks hopeful. I am looking forward to freedom. We enter Ellis Island, a strange, unknown, suspicious-looking building that changed my life forever. We went through many painful tests, passing one after the other, but with doubt in my mind the whole way through, Joe and I finally made it to America. Luckily, my parents along with my uncle were both able to help me pay for college. I have started my studies and am doing really well in my teaching classes. I am an honor student and I have managed to get my scholarship for the rest of my education. My uncle is taking very good care of me and my cousin Joe. We are both in college together, and even though Joe is a few years older than me, he and I are in the same year of college. Joe didn't have the opportunity to have the same schooling when we were back in Europe. I'm lucky to have Joe to go through all of these experiences together. I've met a nice guy named Gil, only his friends allow him to call him that. His real name is Israel. People started calling him Izzy, and he didn't like that. He changed his first name to his middle name, which is Gilbert. He takes some of this shame from his real name from emigration from Russia to America. It's great to have a friend to have things in common with. He owns a shoe store, and I get discounted shoes for him. On the other hand, I teach him all the mathematics needs for owning a store. When I came here, I expected to meet a bunch of warm, welcoming people. The first words I heard were, "Go back to your country, you European trash." I guess some people don't understand what this process is like because they have been free for a lot longer than I have. The strangest thing is I expected the streets to be paved in gold and everything to be covered in gold because that was this thing. Instead of seeing the streets paved with gold, I saw our kind paving the streets. Izzy's friends came into town. One of the friends was a beautiful girl. Not only was she beautiful on the outside, but she showed much character, kindness, and compassion for others. I knew this was love at first sight. Her name was Irene. She was also from Russia, but she had been here a lot longer than I had. It was hard to go out, and the connection was immediate. We decided to get married and knew the jobs were scarce in Philadelphia. It is our plan to move to Chicago, where there are a lot of jobs for mathematics teachers in the high schools. Irene will be getting a job as a dressmaker until we put her through school. Irene and I got so lucky. We spent many years dating, eventually getting married, and having a beautiful named Maggie and a boy named Ben. Living in Chicago is mostly a dream. Soon we will bring our parents out here to have a free life too. Heirlooms. More heirlooms. Lithuania. I will always remember the vast amounts of trees there.